Experience 10 days of Grand Europe trip for easy EMI of Rs 25,000 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Wonder Diamond, South India's largest lab-grown diamond brand, stores at Chennai, Coimbatore, Bangalore and Hyderabad.
Hi Rashmika, welcome to Galatta Plus.
Hi, sir.
You have VARISU coming up with
Yes.
Vijay, and you have Animal coming up with Ranbir Kapoor. Is there the feeling that I have arrived? Has that kind of set in?
I think that is one feeling that I envy people who have it because I never can get there myself. Since the beginning, I've always had friends and family who are like, now you feel you've made it. Now you feel you've made it. But I think that's one feeling which I'm happy that I'll never have, and I'm sure that I'll never have because I'm just starting now, just getting started. So this is a very exciting point. But I totally look forward to what's to come.
No, but surely there must be some happiness at getting a big project like, VARISU or Animal or whatever it is. See, because these are literally projects that people die to get, so.
No, actually, signing these films, of course, you have that urge to, yes, like I got this, I get to work on this film, and I get to do this character. But like the feeling of you've made it, that I don't know. But the urge to constantly, I'm not even kidding, the urge to just improve, because till Varisu and Mission Majnu also, I'm like, okay, this is a film which I've done, but I'm waiting for Animal and waiting for Pushpa, and all of this urge to be better is just so strongly there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you place yourself?
In terms of like
This,
the
you just talked
achievement?
about the urge to be better. So,
urge
yeah.
to be better. Oh, 100%. Like on a 10, it's a 10.
You're a 10.
Yeah, because I'm like every day I'm watching these performances, I'm watching new films, and I'm like, why haven't I done this before? Like I'm 16, 17 films old now, and I'm like, oh my God, I so wish I could do all these films all over again. It's
As in, because you keep finding faults in them or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
constantly.
yeah.
Every release, I'm like, oh, I wish I could have done a better job.
Right.
But I think now I'm being more clearer. I just feel like somewhere as an artist I've improved. I have more clarity. I have more like references. I know I watch a lot of new films, and I never did till now, and I don't even know why I haven't, but now I do.
There are some people who kind of stumble into acting, but you kind of wanted to become an actor. Even though you did your journalism, psychology, some very strange mix of subjects.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, I didn't know you could mix journalism and psychology and something else. There's a third one there.
Literature.
Literature. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, that's really something else. But
Yeah.
you did all that, but then you entered modeling because you wanted to see, you were really fixated on becoming an actor. Was there a point where, like, you saw somebody act and said, I need to do this, this is my career? Because, when in Hindi, for sometimes they always say, I was age 3 and I saw Sridevi and I knew this is what I wanted to be.
Right.
Was there like a point like that exploded?
So I grew up in a hostel, sir. Most of my life I've
Right.
been in a hostel because my parents were figuring out their own lives and, financially getting stable and all of that they were working on. So I remember major part of my life I could not watch films. Back in hostel, it was just like you get that 9:30 to 10 p.m. where you can watch news, sports, and maximum music.
Okay.
So, but I used to like investiture ceremony, annual days in school. I was always the one who's dancing, and classical dancing, Bharatanatyam to be precise. So this cultural part of it always fascinated me. I enjoyed it. I hated, like I did not like studying. I was always the one who was a backbencher. But I never thought I could do something with studies. Although I was like, okay, what's the max that I can do? Go back home and support my dad in his business. So becoming an actor, like when I watch all these songs and when I knew about actors, it always fascinated me. I was like, wow, what a life they would be leading, I was like, That's just such a fascinating thing. But I never dreamt in my whole life that I would be an actor myself. In fact, initially when I did Fresh Face back in 2014, um, I used to audition and go for auditions for series and films a lot. And I remember getting rejected so many times. And rejection, somehow I couldn't take it. So I gave about 20-25 auditions and I got rejected in most of them, saying you don't have a face of an actor. And then I would come back home and I'd sit and cry and everything. And after that, there was this other film which I auditioned for the last time, and I ended up getting it. And that was a film called Gelere Gelatiyare.
Okay.
But we went for training for that film, and sadly, after 2 months, 3 months of training for that film, it never took off. So I came back home. I was just doing my exams, and my parents were like, okay, 2 years here, and you're back home. I was like, okay, that's how life is and everything. And then I got a call from Kirik Party. So I think that's how the life began as an actor. And I remember when I landed Kirik Party, I was like, wow, like how is this possible? And it made me happy, but I was not sure that I was made to be an actor. I think I remember on the day of the release of Kirik Party, we walked out of the theater and there was so much love. I'm not even exaggerating. Like the whole crowd went like Sanvi, like that was my character name. For the first time, I was like, wow, people are calling me my character name. This feeling is the best feeling in the world. And then I remember that it was supposed to have been just Kirik Party, and like if I don't have the opportunity, then go back home. That was my safe bet. But after Kirik Party, I got a call from Anjani Putra film, which is with Punit sir. And then Chamak happened, and then Chalo happened in Telugu. And then I started walking into the industry, and wow.
Right. You mentioned Puneet Rajkumar, and one of the biggest tragedies that he just passed away so young.
Yeah.
Do you have any memories of working with him that stayed with you?
I remember this one particular conversation we had, if I'm in the gym, if I'm not wrong, that I was just like, sir, how do you do this? How, like, actors are amazing. You have to act in front of the camera. You have 250 people around you, and you live a different character. And at the same time, you're such a big personality. You have to maintain that outside. And I'm this person who has like 2,000 questions with my co-stars always. So I was asking him this, and he told me that he answered my question and everything, and he was one man back then who said, you're capable of something which you don't realize. You're capable of something much more than what you realize. And then I was like, what do you mean? I never knew what he meant. He was like, see, Rashmika, if you put your heart and soul into something, I know you can achieve whatever you want in your life. And this was also when I said, sir, I'm doing this film in another language, which is Chalo from Telugu language.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all the best. Go for it, go at it, and I know you can prove, you can make all of us proud. And then I was like, okay, maybe just chalo and back home, because I didn't really know the language back then. And then cut to, I think Anjani Putra, we had audio launch, and back then Chalo had released. And I was shooting for this film called Geeta Goindam.
Yes.
And then I went back and I was like, sir. And he was like, see? I think the conversations I used to have with sir was something which I keep very close to my heart. And even now, I just feel like I was just saying, that I don't feel like I'm good at communicating my, self in words. So I just feel like I just want to go back to him and just talk. I just feel like maybe he'll understand what I actually mean. Yeah, so it's just like I miss him.
So you just said that, you know, there's a problem sometimes in communicating.
Yeah.
Do you think, there's been a bunch of controversies that you've been embroiled in lately. Uh, you know what they are about Kantara, about songs in South versus songs in North. Is this again part of the communication gap that these have blown into what they are?
I think, like I was saying, one faulty which I have seen witnessed within myself is when someone asks me a 2-marker question, I give a 5-marker answer, which I think is something which I have to, um, work upon, which I realize and which I will. But I feel like there's some things which you mean something and it is turned against you and you're like, but that's not what I meant. For example, there was this instance recently where on stage, I was talking about Bollywood romantic songs, and then I was like, okay, in South we have like mass numbers, that, this, and people don't realize that I was cut in between my explanation or my answer. The boys on stage, they were like, yeah, we know. So at that moment, I was like, okay, am I speaking too much? Maybe I'll keep quiet. But my whole answer was going to be, in South, we have mass numbers, item numbers, we have such amazing songs, and I've been blessed with so many romantic songs. Like, I'm not stupid. I have Chusi Chudangane, I have Belageddu, I have Kadalalle, I have Inkem Kavale. I have so many songs, so I have no reason to say that South has only, mass songs. This was going to be my answer, but nobody actually wants to listen to the whole thing. So that became such a big conversation, and for no reason do I have to be like, okay, I like only this, I like only that. I work in 4 industries, and I'm so grateful for everything that I've been given so far. Every film of mine has turned me into the girl I am today and the characters which I'm doing today, and I'm very proud of it. So I don't understand why people think that we've forgotten our roots, or why we have gotten two horns above our head. No. I feel like I'm living the life being extremely grateful. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but as long as I'm here, I want to make memories. I want to live a good, happy life, and I'm just always going to be the same. So nothing is going to change there. So yeah, like words, like misleading people is a really sad thing.
You said about I want to stay the same, but sometimes stardom does change people. Because it's a bubble. It's a very intoxicating bubble. And when you come from a middle class or an upper middle class life, which is, I'm not saying that you probably had a car, you had probably had something and all that, but now you're dealing with paparazzi. You're like everybody's centered there. People are picking up words that you say and kind of dissecting them, and your Instagram account is being followed and people are commenting, and so it's a whole different life. How do you prevent it from getting to your head? I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I mean, like, how do you say I just want to be the same person?
Because one thing is what my friends were in fact very scared of was they would think the same. When I was working in Kirikpati, and when the Kirikpati film released, I was still studying in going back to my college. So my friends were like, oh no, after the film release, you're going to change, you're going to, forget all of this, the moments we had. And strangely, like, film released and it became one of the biggest blockbusters. But somehow, I just feel like inside me, I know that this is not like everything. I know that I have a family who's not connected to film industry at all, and my little sister who's growing up, who's still going to school. And I'm very well aware of the upbringing that I've had, and the money which comes in, the fame which comes in, the responsibilities which comes in. somewhere I think actors start putting up a mask because I can't speak for all of them. I can just speak for myself. And somewhere I feel like now I'm more responsible. Like I said, the words are getting twisted and turned against me. And now I'm like, should I be myself? Should I not be myself? What am I supposed to do? Should I just put a mask and just tell people what they want to hear? Or should I say what's in my heart?
Right.
So I'm in that confusion state right now, to be honest. But, I think inside, for the person who I am, I will never be able to say ki, okay, now I have everything, so I don't give a damn.
Right. Right.
That's never going to be me. I'm always going to be like, thank you for giving me what I have today. I'm really grateful. I don't know how long. Like I keep saying, we're all going to die one day. We're all going to, someday we might choose to stop working, or someday we might choose to take a different, path. But I just feel like right now I'm very present. I don't know if tomorrow the release, what is going to happen, what is going to happen with the film. But right now I'm very happy.
Right.
I'm grateful.
So tomorrow VARISU releases. If you were to describe your character with 3 adjectives, what would they be?
I think VARISU was one of my picnic films because I've always wanted to work with Sir, which was such a blessing itself. And Vamsi Anna because I've been his friend for a long time, but when I got a call regarding this film, I had to see Vamsi Anna not as a friend but as a director. And working with him was the first time. And Dilraju Sir, all over the years, one complaint we had with each other is that we never got to work with each other. But this is our first collaboration, and I think the first times make it a little more special. With Tomorrow, the character which I'm playing is honestly there's no like much drama. There wasn't like, oh, I had to work extra for this, except the songs because Sir
They're
is a brilliant dancer. um, but I feel like she's just easy. She's just simple, and there's this one point, I think you'll watch it tonight or tomorrow, where as a childhood I was different, and suddenly I turn out to be uh, whatever girl,
different person, yeah.
different person. So I think that one particular thing I found extremely fun to work because I was like, this is exciting. I've never done this before in my life. But she's simple. She's easy and like she is the good looking, just a good looking girl.
Now every actor has this point. I'm mainly female actors have this point where they have to balance the big name, big banner films, but also try to do the dear comrades and the things that kind of really give you like meaty stuff to sink into. And because that's one of my favorite performances of yours, and I really like the movie as well. Is that a way like because those scripts don't come every day, right? It's like, we're not a country that especially writes too many films that focus on female-oriented roles.
Yeah.
But though now it's becoming
Yeah,
a little better.
Yeah.
How do you see? You keep talking about after this movie, I wanted to go back home. I thought I'd go back home. After this movie, I thought I'd go back home. But,
Yeah.
but how do you ensure that you have a long career? Is it by balancing this and by balancing this with that?
Oh, right now I feel like I'm in a space where I will not say go back home. I'm here to stay.
Okay.
And I'm making sure that I'm here to stay. But like you said, sir, I think it's a good balance between this and that because, like, at least for me, I'm still, like a little baby in the industry. I don't know much. I haven't been here that long to say ki, okay, I've got my footing on the ground. For now, I'm like, I'll do films like Varisu, which is out and out entertainer, which is like meaty role, I wouldn't say. Again, I'm doing a film like Animal, which is performance oriented. And at the same time, there are few more films which are, out for the announcement. But there now I'm consciously choosing to do a film which is entertainer, commercial, also meaty role. Like I want to
All three
yeah,
in
like
one.
yeah, I'm trying to. I like trying really hard to combine all the three, because I just feel like, of course, there are female-oriented film, there's, like commercial entertainers and everything, but the second you can combine all of them three together, I think that's a beautiful film to be in. And I'm trying to reach there. Now I'm doing entertainers, I'm doing meaty roles, I'm doing female-oriented films, but one day I hope to reach all of them together.
You should put it out into the universe, because then scriptwriters might.
Oh, I'm putting it on the universe with you. Yay!
Among the big industries, you worked in Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada. The only thing you haven't worked in is Malayalam.
Yes.
And like everyone else, is it your dream also? Like, I want to do a like a film with Fahad Fasil or somebody like that.
Definitely, definitely. I definitely am just manifesting this very, very hard, that I definitely want
I'm
to
beginning
work
to
in
feel like a
Malayalam.
medium.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
No, I definitely want to work in Malayalam, and Fafa sir, of course, like just his eyes. I want to work with him to learn. That is going
Right.
to be my, focus in that film. But recently I got this time I could spend with Dulquer Salman while we were waiting for a flight. And I was like, Dikyo, I don't know how, but I really want to work with Malayalam. Like, and I want to work with you. But yeah, I've just been this person who wants to do films in different industries just to understand and learn. And there's always a room for learning. There's always a room for bettering ourselves, no?
Right.
So Fafa is something I'm just like, please, someone write a script for us.
In Tamil itself, when you debuted with Sardar and now you're with VARISU, can you sense a kind of, I've become a little better in the language, I've become a little more comfortable with this atmosphere? Can you sense that?
For me, what happened was, I'm born and brought up in Karnataka, but initially, I think first, second, third standard, I studied in Chennai, in a school called Ruskin in
Okay.
Madras. So I remember that is the initial connect. So before, I used to speak really good Tamil, and I used to sing Tamil songs. I used to watch Tamil films. And then I went back to the hostel, and that's when, such almost 8, 9 years without speaking the language. So somewhere I had forgotten. But since the initial days of working in Sultan also, I just feel like I'm comfortable with
Oh,
Tamil.
Sultan, sorry, I said Sardar.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
Sultan. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got what you meant.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, so I've always felt like I've had a connection with Tamil as a language, and today I'm still like trying to manage my Tamil, but yeah, like Tamil somewhere has like a deep down connection with me.
Right. Every actor, you've had your ups and downs. Has there been any particular failure that has been harder to take than the others?
I've always been a very, like, I can't say that. Let me say it like I've gone through all the fears in my life. Like the
Right.
fears which I've always had, I've lived them. Um, so right now it's like I've lived them. Now how do I handle them? It's inevitable that people have this perspective about you. People talk bad about you, hurting someone, that, this. I think these were my biggest fears. And somehow it's happening. And right now I know that it's inevitable for everyone. Everyone is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. If there's good, there's evil, there's God, there's devil, there's dark, there's light. It's always going to be there. And I could never sort of like take the darker side. I used to always run away from it. But now when it's engulfing you so much, it's like, okay, how do I find the light in the dark, right? So I just feel like these are the hardest, like, I wouldn't say failures in my films, because of course we do films and that's something which audience are to accept or not accept. But failures when um like something which you do with not a bad intention, if something goes wrong with you, it affects your family and friend circle. I think that is a failure
Yeah, okay.
from my side, because
Right.
I'm like, I'm doing everything in my power to not make that happen. But when you know that your parents are affected by it because they don't know anything about film industry and about the fame and the money and everything, they're just like, we're middle class family, like we live our lives like that even now. So I think my like failure, which I'm still working upon, is when my parents have to wake up and watch a news or something in the media which portrays something which I've not said, you know, like misunderstanding my words and everything. I think that is one failure which is hard hitting.
For me personally, I felt personally a little bad when Dear Comrade didn't work that well, because it was, I thought, a very well made movie, and it really, like, really worked for me. And you and Vijay were very different from what you were in
Geeta
Geeta
Govindam, yeah.
Govindam. And for some reason, it almost hit me personally that such a nice movie kind of didn't reach the thing.
But
So
what I was happy about the film is that no matter if it worked on the box office or not, but we still got messages. Like
yeah,
example, like we got messages, such lovely messages saying this is such a good film. It is such a, like, you know, it's a topic which you have to talk about more. And, you know, this happened in our lives, and thank you for, you know, extending
right.
by being these characters and everything. Same thing with Goodbye, honestly.
Yeah.
I got so many messages saying, yeah, the film didn't work in the box office, but you know, you touched our hearts, and thank you for saying the story. And I think these are some films which are meant to be said for people, but not for the numbers.
Right.
You know, it's a people's hearts films.
Right. Now that you mentioned Goodbye, I just have to ask, what is it like being with Bachchan? The Bachchan. You know,
Yeah,
what is it
yeah.
like? I mean, you must have learnt a lot, right?
I definitely did. I definitely did. I think initially I was very scared of the perception of Sir, you know, which was going around saying, oh, he's going to be very quiet, you know, he's Amitabh Bachchan and all of that. And I was very, like, intimidated. Of course, anyone will be.
Yeah.
But I think towards the end, it became very like funny almost, because he would just call me like, Pushpa, come here, Pushpa, go there, because it was after the release of Pushpa. And then there were so many days when, again, I used to ask him a gazillion questions. He would sit and answer. And then I used to ask him the same thing, ki, you've been doing these over decades, and how are you handling your, you know, handling all of this? And he's like, it's life. This is the life that I've chosen. This is life. This is how it's got to be. And then the words which he says, and he's such a well-learned, you know,
Yeah.
personality, and it's just so amazing to just hear him talk. And he was fun around us. He would take all of our cases. He would make fun of us. He was just one among us. It was amazing.
So now that you mentioned Pushpa, what can you tell us about the sequel?
Ah. I, for one, can tell you that I'm soon to be starting to shoot.
Right. Oh,
I'm
good, you
gonna.
confirmed that, because I read news that you were being, you know, taken away from the film.
Oh.
Yeah. No, no.
No, as in if a lot of news has been going on. No, I'm really excited to start shooting in, I think, next month. We're going to start shoot, and it's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. Oh my God, the things that I'm hearing from the second half is
Nice.
mind-blowing stuff, and yeah, really exciting.
Nice. You know, we mentioned the fact that you've acted in a lot of languages. Which was the toughest one to get into?
Wait, topic of languages is quite interesting because I'm from Coorg. Like I'm born and brought up in a place called Madikeri Coorg, which is a small community in Karnataka. So back home we speak Kodavatakku. After Kodavatakku, when I went to the hostel, that's when I picked up English, honestly. I think I was in the grade 4 or 5, and someone asked me the spelling of um, one word. I think hostel or environment or something in class 5, and I didn't know. I didn't know English. So in school, I sort of like picked up on English, and later when I went to my +1 and +2 in Mysore and my degree in Bangalore is when I picked up Kannada, and my work got me teaching. Work has taught me Telugu, Tamil, and Hindi now, which I'm still managing. But I feel like the best part about these languages is that I get this opportunity to communicate with people in their own comfort. I can't say I'm the best in all the languages because honestly, it every day I'm sitting with a A4 size sheet paper and writing down all my dialogues and whatever I want to say and sort of like working upon it. I'm not the best, but I will still work hard on it. But I feel like I want to learn as many languages as possible and as well as possible because I just feel like it's for the love that I receive, this is something which I have to do, to talk to them in their own language so that it just makes them feel a little more comfortable. So, which language is hardest to act in? I think all of the languages are same to me. Like I can't pick a language because I practice my dialogue so much that it never becomes an issue for me.
Right. So, thank you for this, and I hope that you don't have to wear a mask because you speak very openly, and sometimes it's just nice to kind of, hear something which seems honest.
Yeah.
And I do hope that you don't get embroiled in any more controversies.
I hope so too,
yeah.
but looks like I'm hailing in that situation.
No, but I don't know if the thing is, today everything is blown up to such an extent that the minute something else comes along, they move on to the next thing. So I don't know if that's something that you should dwell on, but because as long as you know that your heart is in the right place and you know that you did the right thing, and I think that's fine. So,
but also like because you care about people so much, and that's exactly why the
because you
words.
want their perceptions to.
It's not that I wanted to be very positive or negative. I'm just like, I care about you. Like, if you have something wrong to say about me, then I know that somewhere you're meaning to hurt me or you're hurting, and I care about you. So, like, that's why I feel bad. Like, it's not even like, oh, you said something wrong about me, and that's why I feel bad. I'm like, are you okay? Like, why is there so much negativity in you? Like, you need to talk to someone about this,
Right.
But yeah, I think this is just something in this field that you need to just carry
Right.
upon.
And now that you're no longer going back home and you're going to stay in this field,
Yeah.
you'll probably deal with it much better in the coming years. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Rashmika.
Thank you so much. I've always been wanting to talk to you, and I finally did. So thank you.
Thank you.
Experience 10 days of Grand Europe trip for easy EMI of Rs 25,000 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Wonder Diamond, South India's largest lab-grown diamond brand, stores at Chennai, Coimbatore, Bangalore and Hyderabad.